So now in the question number 2 here, we say draw the half part of a flat spanner as shown in figure Q2. We should draw the half part of a flat spanner as shown in figure Q2. So here is how we are going to be drawing it. So first of all, we are going to be putting our horizontal line in soft form. That is our horizontal line. Then we take our vertical line. Our vertical line is the most important here. So now after taking this, then we take 60 degrees to the right from this point, 60 degrees to the right, to the left. We have 60 degrees to the left and 30 degrees to the right. That is 30 degrees to the right. So now, after measuring 30 degrees to the right, I'm going to be measuring 20 millimeter on the 30-degree line. So I'm going to be measuring 20 millimeter on the 30-degree line according to the image that says 40 millimeter. So I will measure 20 millimeter on both sides. 20 millimeter from this side, and I measure 20 millimeter from this side also. So after measuring 20 millimeter on both sides, I take my 60 degree, then I take it straight. Take my 60 degrees straight, and I come here also, and I take my 60 degrees straight. So now I've taken my 60 degrees straight. What is the next thing that I'm going to do? I'm going to be offset measuring 13 millimeter upward again. So now I will measuring 13 millimeter upward, that is 1.3 centimeter. So from here, from this point here, we measure 1, then 1.3. So this is 1.3 right here. Then we use our 30-degree line to take it off. We use our 30-degree line here to take it. So now we have used our 30-degree line to take it. Then we'll draw an arc of radius 23. So we'll draw an arc of radius 23. So then we take our ruler again. We measure an arc of 23 millimeter, that is 2.3 centimeter. So this is 1, 2, 3. 2.3 centimeter, I take it. Then I come back to the center point right here. I take the center point, then I draw my arc. That is, I draw my arc. So after drawing my arc at the center point, then the next thing I'll do is we are going to be putting our point at this place, which is the edge, and we are going to be measuring 30 degree. We are going to be measuring 30 millimeter. So we are going to be measuring 30, then measure 30 here, that is 3 centimeter. So after measuring 30, we come here and mark it right here. Then we come here again, the place at which we marked here, then we mark it from here. We mark it from exactly that point. We do the same for this other side here too. From this place we measure 30 degree, and from there we draw our arc. From there we draw our arc, just that way. So then after that we are going to be measuring 53. We are going to be measuring 53 millimeter, that is 5.3 centimeter. We will be measuring 53 from the center right here. Then we use it to cover up for everything. We use it to cover up from here to here. So we have gotten the upper part for now. So then after that we are working on the handle now. So now how do we work on the handle? We take our ruler, and then we measure 17 to both sides. Since the total length of this is 34, so we measure 17. So from here I take from here I come here, I measure, this 15, 16, 17. This 17 on this side, and from here to I can come here, I measure 1, 15, 16, 17. So this is my 17 on the other side, and then I draw the straight line downward. I draw my straight line downward. I draw my straight line to downward. So now that I have drawn it, then I'm going to find the way I can put the axe on this place and the arc from here too. So now how do I get the axe? Now it says the picture, the diagram says radius 20 degree that is going to be here. So the radius 20 degree that is going to be here, we are going to measure a length of 20 degree and draw a straight line. So I take my ruler and I measure 20 millimeter. I measure 20 millimeter and I put the point there. And from 20 millimeter I will take a straight line downward. I'm taking a straight line downward. So after taking a straight line downward, then I will measure 50 millimeter on my compass again. I measure 50 millimeter, exactly 50 millimeter, and from this point right here, this arc point here, I'm going to be marking my 50 millimeter. So after marking it, I come back, I take my ruler and then I mark 20 millimeter. So from here I'm going to be marking 20 millimeter. That is kind of like a little bit small. Oh, I did a little bit mistake. So for 20 millimeter, that is for 20 millimeter. And then for the other side also, I'm going to be doing from here, I will be measuring 55 to the right hand side. So from here I measure 55. So after measuring 55, I draw it downward. I'm going to need this a lot. So I draw it downward. So then after drawing it, I take my compass and I measure 108. I measure 108. We have 108, that is about this point right here. So from this 108, I'm going to be coming to the center. Now this one we are using the center here, then we mark it here. So after marking it from the center, I will come back to measure my 55. come back to measure my 55. Then I will take my 55 here. Then I draw my arc, my outside arc. So now that is how to draw it. So I can thicken those angles a little bit. More. Then I straighten my lines, I thicken my lines. I thicken the angle a little bit, then that is it. So I thicken my lines, and that is how to draw a spanner and half spanner. So that is it. So you just do the dimensioning and everything, and you are done with the spanner. So now the question three says draw the three views of the isometric drawing in figure Q3. The figure Q3 that is shown on the screen here is what we are going to be drawing. So now I'm going to be using first angle. I'm going to be using third angle projection, in which the plan is on top and the the views are down. So now when doing third angle, I draw my horizontal line thick this way, then I come with my set square. I come here and then I mark. So after marking, I take 10 centimeter to both sides. There is 1 centimeter to both sides, which is 10 millimeter. So with this one, I can take one to this side, then take one to the other side here. So we have one on both sides, and I do the same thing for the downward position here. I take one upward and one downward. So now I can now draw a very soft line. I can draw a very soft line, and do it up to from the point at which I marked. Then also for this place, I do it for here, then I do it for this other place. So now after doing this, I start taking my measurements. I can choose to start with my plan. So since I'm doing third projection, my plan is going to be up here. So while doing my plan, I have a full dimension of 75. I have a full dimension of 75. Yes, a full dimension of 75. That is 7.5 centimeter. Then I mark it of 75. And in that 75, I'll take 30 out. For the top layer. 1, 2, 3. So I take 30 out, and then on this other side I have 10 to this place, and from here I pick 10 to this other place according to the drawing. Then from the other side of the drawing, it goes by, we have 60 as the full length. We have it as 60 as the full length. So since we have 60 as the full length, that is 60 and that 60 will be divided into 30, 30. So we find for 30 from here, and then this other 30 would be divided into three places. So we have 10 each. So we have 30, then 10, 10, 10. So now from these ones that we have here, we can start our sketching. We we start our sketching. I sketch the outer part first. I sketch it out with a soft line. Then for the other place, let me sketch on top. So I sketch on top there also. Then I continue with the inner lines. The line here, according to the drawing, it just goes up straight. It is 30. Then on this other side, I have to come I have to come I think um I have to this place is divided by 30, 30. Then this place is supposed to be divided into threes, not this down place. So it's this up place that I'm supposed to divide into three. So from here, I measure my 30, then I put my 10 and my other 10 also. So now from this point, I take my straight lines, my T-square, then I do my drawings, soft soft ones. I take it there, and then from here I'll trace it from this point at which I put here. So now that is for the plan of the drawing, and then let me the moving on to the front plan, which is the approach, which I'm going to be doing now. So now the height of the approach is 40 and 10, 10 on both sides, so that is 60. So now I'm going to be measuring the height from here as 60. And is it divided at any place? It is divided at 10 up and 10 down from downward side for that both sides. So let me fix that one first before I continue with other partitionings. So I come here, I draw my straight line. Then the one from up here, I'm going to be tracing it downward. I'm going to be tracing it downward. Then also I have my the one that is here, which is from the up plan. I'm also going to be tracing it downward here. So once I trace this one downward, according to the plan in the approach, there is some kind of hole in this place, which is 10 and 10, and upward and downward, which is this side that I wrote 10 and 10. So let me trace these ones here that we wrote as 10 and 10. We have 10, and from this side too, that is this side, we can just trace it to draw it as 10. So now we have 10 and 10 here. Then we want to do our inner lines. So we take our ruler, we measure, since it's 30, we divide it into 3 to 10, 10, 10 places. So we have 1 and we mark it at 2. So now from 1 and 2, we take it up. From 1 and 2 here, we just take it up this way. From 2 here, we also take it up this way. So we have successfully divided it. Now let's go to the other partitions. Now on this other place, we have a height of 40 here for that other place. So we take 40, here. So that 40, we take the 40 straight. So now we have our 40 straight, and also from that 40 we have another 20 downward. So from here we take 20, that 20, we try to like get the point. I don't think it's not from this place, it's from this point that we have our 20. So we get 20 from here, we get 20 from there, and then we use our ruler to trace it from here to downward. So now that is for this. Now don't forget that on the things that are happening here in the elevation, we have to show it on the plan, and things that are on the plan, we have to show it on the elevation. So the hole that is here, we have to account for it in this place. So how do we account for it? We draw a broken line there. We draw a broken line there, and on this other side we draw a broken line there. So we have a broken line on that one. And then for this hole that is here, we have to account for it in this place. So now for this hole here, his broken line is from here. Then for this hole here too, the broken line is from here. So now we have for this. Then after that, we have to draw for the side. So now drawing for the side, before we draw for the side, we have to draw our 45-degree line from the center in order to make sure that it matches. So now we draw our 45-degree line from here, we draw it upward. So now we have drawn our 45-degree line. We trace all our traceables here, all these ones from here. We trace it to this point. We trace this also. We trace them also. Then using soft broken lines. So we have tracing those, and those ones that we traced, we are going to trace them downwards. So using our set square, I will be tracing them downward. From here, I'll be tracing them downwards. Now note that these points we are going to be using them. So these points here, then for this place we have these points here, we are going to be using them. Then for this one, we trace it downward. We trace this one. So for this one also, we have to put the points down here. So now that is for this. Then so we can easily be able to trace it. So from this points here, this down, for our soft line that was here, we put it here, we do our soft line here. Then for this place, we are going to be continuing it there, and for this highest place here, we will continue it here. So now after that, I'm going to trace the ones that I got from up here. I'm going to be tracing them downward, tracing these ones downward. I'm going to be tracing it downward. And I think this mark is here. Then we have these lower parts, and then we are going to be having our broken line. So if broken line, we have to account for these holes that is here. It has to show in this place. So for this broken line here, I think it starts from somewhere here. So we draw our broken line. We come here again and draw our broken line. For that. And then for the ones that are passing through this place, we take our t square from there, and we trace it from there, trace it up to this point. So now that is it. So now after we have drawn this in a soft sketch, we are going to be thickening the line. We are going to be making sure that the lines are thick. So our next objective now is to make the lines thick. So now how do we make the line thick? We take our ruler, right here, and then we begin to thicken the line. So at the edge here, I thicken it to here. From here, I thicken it just to make it show and to bring the shape out. Now note that when you are doing isometric drawings or angle projections like this, you do not erase the side, you leave the side there. They are part of your markings. You do not erase the side, you just leave it there. We have this, then this. So this line here is not supposed to be existing, so let me kind of like remove it. This one is not supposed to exist. So this is the drawing for this. It has become more clearer right now. So then we do for here, I think this for the plan. We do for the plan, we get this. So now we have drawn for the plan. Then we come to our side here. Our side here, we thicken it. So now these are the drawings right here. So what is left of you is to do their dimensioning. So you just do their dimensioning the same way I did the dimensioning of the other ones. So you can just come here, then trace it downward, soft line. You come here, draw it downward, and draw this downward. Then also these holes that are here, we draw them down. You can draw this one smaller and smaller ones. Then we try to use an ANSI type, because if you have used a particular dimension, you have to use it for the entire stuff. So we have this 10, we have this 10, this 10, and then we do for the whole place, that is 30. So that is 30. Then we try to bring it down a little bit so that we can get the full dimension. The full dimensioning here is 75, I think. It's 75, so we write it in 75. That is dimensioning for that side. And we can pick another side again. We come here, we draw it out. 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 Then we do them. So here we have 10, 40, and 10. So we continue to do the dimension that. Then here we have our 45 degree. So make sure that you put your 45 degree here so that you know. So now this is the following